Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Genesis 17:5. Abram means high father, father of the height, or exalted father. Abraham means father of a multitude. Now I'm going to just inject a little story here to illustrate to you something of the faith of this man Abram. He reminds me of Dad so much because because Dad would have to tell us, hold on just a second, let me tell you a little story.
Oh, okay. Reminds me of in the jail. It was one story after another. That's how I do my lessons.
Well, suppose that one morning Abram and Sarai get up, and as they are working around the tent, there suddenly appear a group of traders at their little oasis created by the spring at Hebron. Now, Abraham goes out to meet them, and they want to know if they can water their camels. There were many hospitable people in that day, and that is quite interesting because we speak of cavemen way back yonder and how terrible he was. May I say to you that in that day a stranger could not go through the country without somebody opening his home and entertaining him. And my papa Shepherd, which was born in 1899, he used to sell hardware from McKee all the way to Richmond. And he said he would stop by just people's houses that he didn't even know and ask if he could spend the night. And they'd fix him supper and everything. So that's kind of how they did. That's even back in the early 1900s, people would do that.
Grandma did that. Apparently, hobos would go back and forth, and they would stop. Apparently, one of my brother-in-laws claimed that his dad was a hobo. Oh. That there was a sign they would mark the house somehow or another to let them know that they were friendly to hobos, and so they would. They would. That's why he said that they probably stopped at Grandma and Grandpa's is because the house was marked.
Oh, well, that's awesome. My papa probably would have stopped by too.
Right.
But if you came to Los Angeles as a stranger, I don't know anybody who would take you in. Although there's a lot of Christians in this area, our culture is altogether different today, and we certainly lack the hospitality that they had back in the day. Now, Abram goes out to meet him, and the conversation probably sounded like this.
Well, I'm laughing because nowadays we're kidding. It's dangerous around here. You might wind up getting shot.
Exactly. That's right.
That's what we did a prayer walk for Liberty Avenue just down the road here. We prayer walked 25 and Slate Lick, and one of the things that came out of it was when we came back was the number of no trespassing signs.
Oh.
Everybody had up no trespassing signs.
Oh, that's been a while back too.
Yeah, so. That was 15 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. What about today? I mean, gates are up and ring cameras are up everywhere.
You hear somebody say, "Who are you?"
Who are you? You have a package. Well, Abram goes out to meet him, and the conversation probably sounded like this. Sure, help yourselves. I'll feed your stock. Would you like to stay for a while? And they say, no, we're on a business trip, and we're in a hurry to get down to Egypt. One of these men say, well, my name is Allah. And the other says, well, my name is Allah Baba. What's your name? When Abram replies, my name is High Father, the men exclaim, my, boy or girl? Abram says, I don't have any children. And the men just laugh and say, you mean to tell us that you don't have any children and your name is Abram? How in the world can you be a father and not have any children?
You remember last night I told you that Rick Warren tells this story?
Yes.
Well, obviously he tells it from, I always like to point out all of the stories people have stolen from
Jay Vernon.
From J. Vernon McGee and don't give him credit. Well, here Rick Warren stole this story from J. Vernon McGee and didn't give him credit.
You need to give him credit.
I feel very confident in reading his commentaries.
Yes, exactly.
After all the people who have have stolen his commentary over the years that I have listened to and did not give him credit for it.
Oh my goodness. We give him credit. We even show his book all the time. Oh, here, that one, that side. Okay. And they were laughing at him. He said, "How in the world can you be called Abram? How in the world can you be a father and not have children?" And they ride off across the desert laughing, probably on camels.
Right.
6 months later, they come again. When he goes out to greet them, they all begin to laugh. "Hello there, High Father." But says, "My name is not High Father anymore. It is now Father of a multitude." And the traders say, "My, must have been twins." And then they really laugh when Abram says, "No, I still don't have any children." They say, "How ridiculous can that be?" So here was a man who was a father before he had any children. Abraham was Abraham, father of a multitude, by faith at that time. But 4,000 years later, where you and I sit right now, we can say that God sure made this good for Abraham. The name stuck, if you please, and he is still Abraham, the father of a multitude. God's covenant is next.
Oh, okay. And this section is called God's covenant.
Okay, thank you. "And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee." Genesis 17:6. "And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee." Genesis 17:6 and 7. I always love this because that covenant's for us, because it's everlasting. I have learned a lot by reading. What kind of covenant did God make with Abraham? An everlasting covenant. If it's everlasting, does it mean it's good today? It certainly is. God promised. I said that before I even read that, didn't I?
Oh, really?
Yep. I said we're part of that covenant.
Uh-huh.
It certainly is. God promised you and me everlasting life if we'll trust in Christ. Now that is a covenant God has made. My friend, if God is not going to make good on this covenant that he made with Abraham, you had better look into yours again. But I have news for you. He's going to make your covenant good. And he's also going to make Abraham's covenant. Abraham's good.
And that concludes